Welcome everybody today, and you're very welcome to a wonderful talk with Alex today. Now I've written this down, Alex, just for you, so bear with me a second.
Thank
Um,
you.
Alex will be talking about the alchemy of sound and light. Now, as someone who's actually tried her essences, they're amazing. So I hope you will enjoy this. Alex is a holistic coach, a therapist, a dowser, and a weaver of earth energies. I thought that was wonderful. She works with both people, homes, and businesses in order to restore harmony, vitality, and creative flow, blending her experiences with dowsing, NLP, alchemy, which sounds wonderful, sound essences, and energy work. Along with her passion for creativity and design, she also offers in-person mentoring. Alex is a UK distributor of sound essences and uses this powerful vibrational remedy to support, transform, balance, and align energies for personal well-being, as well as for your home and your business. As part of her house and land healing, she also offers feng shui, sorry, I said that wrong, as well as interior design, weaving beauty and energetic harmony into spaces where people live and work. Alex is also a teacher and a speaker on alchemy, dragons, and dowsing. I use my dragon mug especially for you today. Just want you to know that. Bringing a sense of wonder and playfulness to her work by helping her clients connect with their inner child, unlocking their hidden potential, and helping them to remember who they truly are. I should do that with my husband. He can remember who he truly is. She's very inspired by the mythical, magical realms, as well as the deep currents of earth energies. And like myself, she also volunteers with the Earth Energy Zoom group and is co-chair of the Tamar Dowsers in Cornwall and Devon with Stuart Dow. Her work bridges the practical and the mystical, inviting people to experience the alchemy of sound, of light, and of energy as a pathway to healing, creativity, and wholeness. Alex, you're very welcome today.
Thank you so much, Melanie and Dawn, for inviting me. And it's lovely to meet you as well, fellow house healers and wonderful people around the world. And thank you for joining us today and going on a journey through alchemy, sound and light. How is everyone today? Can I get are we okay? Like so? Are we double thumbs up, one thumb up? Okay. Yay. Okay. Um, I really love sharing information, sharing ideas, inspiration. And so as I go through some of the elements of what I'm sharing today, if you have any questions at all, I'll be doing my best to keep an eye on the chat. But also, hands up as because it's an interaction as well. I don't want it to be just a pure monologue, if that's okay. And I've brought some friends along these sound essences. Um, I'm hoping to share some of them vibrationally with you today. Can I get a show of hands if anyone is able to do dowsing or muscle testing at all, or sensitive sort of feels where you get a yes or no somewhere in the body as getting a tell? That's great. So we'll be doing a joint sort of sound essence harmonization on ourselves today. So you'll get to feel how it feels firsthand. And we'll talk about that in a bit more detail in a minute. I'm just going to share screens. So can you see this okay? Alchemy of Sound and Light. Does that show up all right? Wonderful. Oh, wonderful. Okay, thank you. So today I'd love to sort of share with you some ideas, some inspiration, some of the experiences I've gone through in an alchemical journey, talking about homes and healing, talking about just alchemy with sound and light overall, the beautiful harmonics and vibrational frequencies as we expand all of our collective consciousnesses in how we serve others through the beautiful work of healing people's homes. So it's a very beautiful connection here. Just to start off with inspiration, because we have a calling in life, and you're here today because you've had a calling to help other people in their environments, and they're, feeling good where they live. They want to feel safe. They want to feel comfortable. Just to give you Melanie very kindly read out those words at the beginning, so you probably got a bit of a feel of who I am, and specifically for you as sort of homes and sort of interiors and space sort of interested people, I thought I'd bring a little bit more to the table today, which is just to explain I've got a design degree. I love design. I love creativity. I love making things. I love beauty, whether it's in nature and design or in harmony. And I love connecting and connection. So connecting with the seen and unseen energies and people in community, helping others. In my design career, I've worked in theatre, ballet, and opera. I've also been a DJ in London, so playing music to help create joyful movement and environments, and been very involved in ecstatic dance as well, which is a really beautiful somatic way of processing what we've currently got to process through beautiful music and sacred cacao. I love working with the energies in labyrinths and the creative design of labyrinths using sacred geometry, and I love sound and sound healing. And also part of my design skills, I help people with their design for their soul of their business, their branding, if you like, and their websites as well. That's just something I just do for pure joy of it. It's just such a creative process. Sacred geometry informs a lot of everything. It underpins everything, doesn't it? How the universe is made, and it very much connects with earth energy when we go to sacred sites. So I'm always on the lookout for a labyrinth, whether it's hidden or visible, or making building labyrinths, and also just the energies that you get in stone circles. Up the road from me in Cornwall, we have a stone circle made from quartz crystal, which is the only one I'm aware of that's made of quartz, and it's a beautiful white quartz stones, and it's a very moon connected stone circle. And so I take people to places like that and explore the energies. I've also expanded into interior design because I've always loved, as well as the feeling in a home, I've always loved making it as beautiful as it can be in a flowing way, not just with the feng shui, but with the design choices, the placement of intention and beautiful materials that really resonate with the soul of the person. And also, I love joining up dots, so sparking of ideas. That's where alchemy sort of comes in as well, where you make those connections between one thing and another, people ideas and inspiration, and dowsing. I guess, Melanie, you and I met through dowsing and the wonderful world of dowsing, and it kind of underpins everything. It's such a infinitely useful tool. I've been dowsing since I was 15 years old, and it's just one of those things that it just infuses every aspect of life in a wonderful way and can be super helpful when we're tuning in, because some of us have to do remote work, right, with house healing. So if we're tuning in remotely, we can use our dowsing rods or pendulums accordingly. So that's a really important part of inspiration for me. The kind of things I love to share with other people is part of the holistic coaching side, is how to get aligned with your soul, how to get a sense of mastery with who you really are, and that life purpose, soul alignment, and that expansion into that mastery of constant expansion and beauty. The home energetic side, which can include the design, the healing, the feng shui, and also I do astrology readings as well. Not the classic astrology, the Western one. It's 9-star key astrology. So that's really lovely. and the business mastery as well. So imagine you're a business owner, solopreneur or solopreneur, and you want to understand a little bit about, okay, where would I like this to expand into my business? What would I really like it to become? How can I reach that, lovely, lovely vision? Do I have any blind spots, or are there any sort of well springs of opportunity? So all of these aspects, as well as the executive coaching lead from the heart, are supported with sound essences. So I'm really excited to sort of have your direct experience for how it feels, whether you're remote or in person. It works equally well. So we're going to try some sound essences. I'll talk some more about that, but it just supports every aspect of life. And then I also offer guidance and therapeutic support. So sort of I mentor people who want to learn more about dowsing or their spiritual growth, and I also help people with therapeutic support with various different modalities that I've been trained in. So any questions so far? Any? Okay. So so here we go. I just gathered some pictures of some of the design work I've done. So I don't know if anyone with interest in homes and houses has done any interior styling or staging for sale and things like that. This is some of the work I've done for this was in a property in London that I was able to sort of do some mood boards for and staging, and also some energetic clearing to help it achieve an optimal sale, and it achieved beyond asking price within the first day of going to market. And the photographer loved taking the photos. It just was such a nice feel. So it's about sort of harmony and also the space clearing side, and just intentional placement of really lovely things. This is another home that was sold very, very quickly with a cash buyer. And it was just, everyone who walked in here, the estate agents, it was just really lovely feel, lots of energy work done on it. It didn't need too much, but just to really, really optimize it, but also the design work as well. So it's just lovely to work with lighting, with color, and with beautiful artwork, and just working with the owners. This is another one. This is a really lovely coach who needed some help for their workspace, but also relaxed space, like personal space, to reflect who they are. And they were really frustrated because it was so plain Jane, and it was just not, it was quite functional and just wasn't inspirational. And I'll just show you, this is the mood board that reflects the spirit of who this person is, the colors they love, the sort of maximalist approach. And it was just a really joyful sort of connection with color, with pattern, with texture, with sensory delights, and sort of the joy of circles and bubbles. So yeah, it was just a really lovely process to go through. Some of the work I've done before, as well as mood boards, vision boards, to help create magical sort of activations in life, and things coming through to inspire as well. Part of the alchemy work I do is making candles, healing candles. So this is one of the healing candles, and it just developed naturally with dowsing, actually, to come up with a holistic candle. So it doesn't use fragrance oils, it uses aromatherapy only, pure essential oils. And I use sacred geometry and use crystal grids as well, and use Reiki symbols and play mantras while I'm making the candles. So all of those elements of the sound and the intention and the sacred geometry and the symbols, and also the scent, of course, go into making candles. And it's really interesting when you put your own sort of heart and soul into something and how special it can feel, that process of creativity. This is an artist and a client of mine who is a really talented artist. And I'm just sharing with you, there's a series I do of talks called Consciousness Co-Create. So how does creativity and consciousness interplay? And it's just a really lovely process of expanding consciousness, having those connected conversations. And Melanie, you and I had a talk on this as well. So we, we talked and shared your lovely inspiration as well. Um, Also, there's a Discovering Dowsing podcast. This is the upcoming episode coming out with Susan Collins, who you may know. So if anyone's interested in dowsing and different applications of it, that's worth looking out for. It's on Spotify and Apple Music and Amazon Music, as well as YouTube as well. This is an example of a branding and website build I did for a beautiful healer. So just coming through with the colors and the feels of how this amazing talented healer wanted the person to feel when they landed on their website. So I just sharing a little bit of that, the sort of creative side. So here we are, sound essences. Hopefully you've got a bit of a flavor of some of the stuff I've been doing and the approach and the feels of just how things from a design and creative point of view just can be really uplifting. Sound essences are just so special. I met the creator, who's based in Canada, called Evelyn Mulders, of Sound Essences, on a dowsing group call. And she was talking about her journey of creating sound essences. So just very simply, just to introduce you, they are vibrational remedies that have been charged with sound waves to help balance the energy body. The energy body being that of a human or of a space or of a business or for whatever you can, intuitively apply it to. So, because everything in the universe is in a state of vibration and life is sound and sound brings life to earth, sound energy is just one of the simplest and most effective methods of balancing the body's energy system. And they they have healing vibrations from not just sound but also color. So they're all different colors. There are crystal elixirs and also positive affirmations, and sacred geometry as well goes into these, and symbols and beautiful essential oils and homeopathy as well. And not just limited to that, but that's just give you a feel of, it's this magical alchemical mix of sound essences. And they can really, really make a difference to how we feel. And just to talk about Evelyn, the creator, because I just honor her so much. I love Evelyn's work and how she approaches it. The reason she went on this journey in the first place is she had a spiritual awakening one evening in 1997. She went to a sound bath. She was studying under a herbalist at the time, and they had such a wonderful sound bath with the crystal singing bowls, and she could feel every one of her cells do a happy dance. And has anyone been to a sound healing or sound bath before or worked with sound? Yeah, lovely. So you know how it feels firsthand, or if you haven't, you can maybe get a sense of it with the sound essences shortly. Um, so she felt this real energetic shift in her body, and she 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 got this explanation about sound being vibration, and vibration was reprogramming her cells into a state of bliss. And she said to her herbal teacher, she said, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I wonder if you could bottle sound because I want more people to experience this. Because back in the 90s, people didn't really do that much in the way of sound healing as much as they do today. And they, the answer was, they said to her, "Well, I don't know, Evelyn, why don't you go and find out?" And that sent her on her alchemical journey. Melanie, do you have a
I
question?
do, I do. I've noticed in the chat, but I was going to say this anyway. But Emma in our group actually is a sound. She deals with sound. She works with sound. You'd love Emma. She does all very, very similar things to you, and she's an absolutely amazing house healer too. So I haven't forgot you, Emma. I
Thank
hope
you, Emma. Thank you
she's
so
got a
much.
migraine at the moment, so she can't speak. But
Yes.
I can thoroughly recommend her. She's brilliant.
Yes, and Emma, I remember you and I when we met in person, we were talking about how beautiful sound is and the dragon energy. So I really remember that. Um, so so Evelyn went off and she worked out how to bottle sound. So she worked with a crystal bowl keeper and putting the vibration of the sound in, and she spent a long time evolving and iterating through how to develop these ranges of beautiful sound essences. Now, I've got this image that looks a bit like a ladder or a rainbow kind of keyboard for a very specific reason, because something Evelyn shared a while ago that really sort of stuck with me was she was talking about a sound healer called Stephen Halpern, who's a really renowned and highly regarded sound healer. And he spoke to the idea that if every piano has 7 octaves, and if there were 7 pianos in sequence accelerating in octaves, by the time the 7th piano was played, one would no longer hear sound, but one would see color. So if we look at sound as a frequency, as a hertz, and also color and light is a frequency and a hertz. We have different ways of measuring these things scientifically, but it's part of the same continuum, sound traveling into light and color. Has anyone come across something called synesthesia, where people hear music and they see colors, or they have tastes and have different colors? Yeah, great. Melanie, did you want to say something about that?
So if anyone's familiar with the tarot cards, the Rider-Waite tarot cards, they were drawn by a lady who actually had that, and that's why a lot of her cards are so amazing, because she saw color and heard mu color as well. So that was the first time I ever heard about it. But her name's Pamela Coleman Smith, but she suffered from that as well, but in a very good way.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Melanie. And yeah, and so there's something in this. I mean, my mother has synesthesia. She's a pianist, and so when she plays certain keys and chords, she sees certain colors as well, and she can it's just really lovely to hear her talk through that. Um, so this is a really interesting concept to sort of tune into. And when we think about sound and get a sense that our universe was created by sound and life being sound, we're speaking together right now, we're communicating, it's a vibration, and sound and color are the vibrational interceptors and relayers of universal healing vibrations. So it's just really lovely to work in this realm. So I'd like to start walking you through some of the beautiful feelings to do with sound essences and also some of the concepts. So when Evelyn developed them, she started. She's got different dimensions to her sound essences. Um, the first dimension she works at is the meridian level. And so she has sound essences associated with every meridian. And the direction of flow for meridians is up and down. The chakra balancers she has as her second dimensional levels of sound essences. And she has the front chakras, but also the linking chakras from linking at the back, one chakra to the next. And so those are the semitone notes that she has to do with the different chakras. And the direction of flow is for them is front to back. And the aura harmonizers, we have different levels of our auric field. I'll just go back. And the direction of flow for that is side to side. And when we look at how these are conveyed, it's the 12 passageways of the meridians interpret light. The 7 spinning vortices of the chakras interpret color and sound. And the 7 radiating bands of the auric field interpret sacred geometry. And then we go into the 4th and 5th dimensions. So this is where we start to get into the heart tones. And we're going to focus on these today for a very special reason. So this is the toroidal field. It's about intuition, and the direction of flow is in and out, if you think about the donut shape of the torus. And then the archangel blessings at the 5th dimensional level are holographic in nature, and the direction of flow is reflective. And these are really, really stunning. Now, I'm sharing information with you, but I also feel that it's really valuable to make this an experiential session as well. So you get not just information, but you get an experience as well. So in a moment, I'd like to start delving into the experiential side with you. So the 2 toroidal fields intersecting in our heart, it's about electromagnetism and the holographic nature of we're in the universe and the universe is in us. We are all one, unity consciousness. It's ineffable. It's pure love when we're working with archangel blessings. So I'm showing you a picture of a gyroscope here, or a video really of a gyroscope, because there is an intersection point in our physical bodies, human bodies, which is known as the assemblage point. And it's like an inner fulcrum, if you like. And it's in our upper chest here. And I'll show you a bit more information about that shortly. With the assemblage point, every crystal, every plant, every tree, fish, bird, animal, and insect has an electromagnetic field and an assemblage point. And I'd like to extend that to a house as well. You know, a home has an assemblage point. In my experience, this is what I've found. And I just want to explore this with you today in a bit more detail. So the intersection point is close to the heart, and the energy vortex that our body relies on for sustaining our magnetism to the earth and our electrical circuitry for intercommunication is held from here. And it's the ultimate geometric pattern for living matter and consciousness. And many people, their assemblage point is out of alignment. And so I don't know if anyone, as well as house healing, is also a healer as well for people. If you are, you may have had clients who come back, even though they felt benefits from each session, they come back, things fall back into the same problem place. Some people experience this. It's often down to the assemblage point being out of alignment. And so if we start by getting the assemblage point realigned, the healing can stick. So it's if you reset it, the impact of your healing, whether it's on the person or the home, can take hold quicker and stay for longer, most likely forever. But if you imagine, as we go through life, we get knocks and scrapes, we get dinks and donks, and we can feel a little bit off kilter sometimes. If anyone works with etheric grids, sometimes our etheric grid can be knocked off a little bit and we feel a bit like a beached whale sort of syndrome. Um, so so it's a really lovely thing to realign the epicenter of the electromagnetic core of what this person is or the house is. And here's an image that kind of explains the assemblage point from a cross section of a human being's point of view and where they tend to reside. And when I've doused in houses, when I've been doing house healing, I've found it often is in I found them on stairwells, I found them upstairs, I found them downstairs, and it's different to the heart of the home. It's almost like imagine it's where the house was conceived, if you like, as a thing. There can be an assemblage point to a street or a village. And so it's really, really interesting to try and explore and find these in a house. Maybe find where your assemblage point is in your own house. What I've found is when I get my dowsing rods, I go round and I get my dowsing rods and they cross where it is when I'm asking, where is the assemblage point, please? And I often find that it's roughly at my heart level as well. It's mid-air. And I find it's about the size of a tiny kidney bean. And you can, if you're energetically sensitive, you can feel the shape of it. You get a bit of resistance when you're feeling it in midair. It's a really interesting thing to try and explore and find. And when we're balancing for ourselves, and this is what I'm going to invite you to do very shortly, is we're going to do an assemblage point balance on ourselves in this session. If you'd rather not, you're perfectly welcome to not do this, but you can witness if you like. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you if just gonna, can you see here? You've got these fan shapes, almost like a dowsing fan. If you've got a pen and paper or pencil and paper, if you can douse, sort of draw very quickly, I'll just show you what you can do to draw just a simple shape. I'll just hold it up to the camera. Can you see that? If you can draw a semicircle like that with a notch at the top, and if you draw 4 of them, I would love it if you could do that. Okay. Does anyone have dowsing a tool like a pendulum or a dowsing rod that they haven't got to hand that they maybe need to go and get? So, or if they're not dowsers, just let us know either in the chat or hands up, and I can, with your permission, douse on your behalf um, to um, to do this. Okay. I'll just keep an eye on the chat for a minute to see if anyone wants any support. But what we're going to do is we're going to douse our own assemblage points for our individual selves. We'll get into the connected state together, and with permission, we'll do this dowsing. And on this diagram here, the very top, the sort of north, if you like, of each semicircle is 0. And so you can see this is a view from over the top of the head. 0 is where it's ideal for the assemblage point to be pointing, but you will find quite often it's either one way or another. And the same thing, if you imagine the 0 being coming out of the heart space, sort of north here, you want it to be here, but it will often be one way or another. Same with it coming out of the top of the head here, and you want it to be 0. And this sort of side view of the person lying down, that other cross section as well. So you want it to be 0. It's very unlikely. Don't judge if it's not. It's totally normal for it not to be. Has everyone done a semicircle? Is anyone not ready? You just let us know. Okay. So what I would like us to do is then get your pendulum or your dowsing rod, and you start to douse for, well, let's start with, sorry, just let me gather my thoughts a tiny moment. I'm just going to ask for us collectively to have protection, that we're all grounded, that this is for the highest good of all, and that our energies are all flowing the correct way, our polarities are correct, that our energy fields are cleansed, cleared, balanced, open, and replenished, and that we can each individually ask, and I'll ask on behalf of the group as well, can we douse for this? I'm getting a yes. If anyone gets a no, we can explore that. Taking a nice deep breath, a centering breath, maybe just getting relaxed. When you're ready, if you douse for the top left one first, and then go across with the top right, and then the bottom left and the bottom right. And I'll be here to answer any questions if you have them. If you don't douse, but you can muscle test. Sorry, Dawn, were you going to say something?
Are we asking what is my current polarity?
No, what is my assemblage point position? Good. Thank you for the clarifying question, Dawn. So please, can I ask for please show me where my assemblage point is for horizontal angle, vertical angle, horizontal placement, and vertical placement. And you'll get your feedback pretty soon. And this is a lovely bit of self-care to do anyway. It could be quite a profound thing. Don't know how that is happening. Just I've had do not disturb on. Sorry about that. Okay. And there's no rush at all. Just take your time. Emma, would you like me to do this on your behalf? If you're feeling a bit under the weather.
Sorry, I feel really ropey, but I really wanted to listen to your really informative talk.
Yeah, would you like me to douse on your behalf for your assemblage point? Or are you okay?
Well, I'll give it a whirl, Alex, if that's all right.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Does anyone have any questions as we are going through this sort of measurement? Anyone who wants me to sort of support in any way, just let me know. Okay. Are we ready? Is anyone still working on it? Anyone still needing some more time, or are we ready to go to the next stage? I think I'm seeing a sort of nods. Okay. So next stage is, I would love you to dowse out of numbers 1 to 7. Which heart tone, numbered 1 to 7, is the most appropriate one for harmonizing and rebalancing my assemblage point? I'll repeat that. Which heart tone, it's a sound essence, is the most appropriate, it's number 1 to 7, for harmonizing and rebalancing my assemblage point? And if you just write the number down in the chat, you can access the chat. If not, shout it out. Okay, I'm going to make some notes, because this is the magical bit coming up in a minute. Oh, we've got some 3s. Thank you. 1, 2, 4. Oh, we're going to have a lovely sound essence time today. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we've got. Is anyone else waiting to answer? 7. Okay, we've got. So far, has anyone got 6? Oh, yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much for messaging through. We got. Okay, so I think we've got every sound essence apart from 6. So this is great. So the way it works, I'm going to stop sharing for just a moment. Okay. So the way this works is a really lovely, simple process. And I am going to mist one of the sound essences at a time. So I'll say, for anyone who's number 1 as a heart tone, who's had that doused for the right heart tone for them, when you are balancing your assemblage point and reharmonizing it back to your true north. So imagine this is your gyroscope in your heart space. You want it to be boom, like this. But because of life and the stuff that happens, it's often like this, it's often off kilter. So what you may have found with the dowsing charts with that true north is it's a bit like that or like that. So imagine this gyroscope, we want to get it like this. So what I'm going to put in the chat is full name, left hand, and energy in right hand. So I'm going to show you what that means. You're going to sit there or stand if you prefer. When I'm going to start with the first sound essence, the heart tone, the number 1 heart tone. I'll show you that in a moment. You hold your hands out like this, hands up, and your name, you imagine your full name in the palm of your left hand, and you imagine your energy in your right hand. And then, as I missed, for anyone who's got number 1 heart tone, I'll start with the numbers in the chronological order. If you have number 1, you say your name out loud, imagine it in your left hand, you imagine your energy there, and you say, I'll say my name, Alex Russell-Stoneham, please come home. That's the entire action. So it's in the chat, just for reference. So name out loud, energy in the right hand, please come home. So for anyone who's number 1 heart tone, I'll just get that one. This is a really lovely heart tone called Cherish. Here it is. And you may want to write down these keywords to do with it: unconditional love, vulnerability, and admiration, for anyone who had 1. Right, so for those of you who had this number 1 heart tone come up, are you ready? Are you ready for an assemblage point harmonizing? Okay, so I'm just gonna, so Blossom, I think you had that one. And so if you're ready to receive, and then the rest of us can hold space and witness. You're on mute. Are you able to do this as it stands, or are you in transit or anything like that? Because I can't see you on the camera as such, Blossom. Just want to check in with you.
Yeah, she can do it now.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Thank you, Blossom. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I shake the sound essences. It's activating the vibrational remedy. I'm going to mist my aura and I'm going to intentionally send it your way. You receive it. I'm going to send it with love. You can receive it with love. And you say your name out loud, your full name, Blossom, in your left hand, your energy in your right, and you say, Blossom, last name, please come home. Okay. And if you just let us know when you feel like that's settled in you, then we'll hold space and then go to the next number. Okay. Here we go. All right. Okay. Sending it your way, saying your name out loud. Please come home. And if Blossom, you can confirm to us if that has settled in your being, if you're ready to communicate. Okay, thank you. How are you feeling? Yeah, something, may have been shifting for you. If you feel able to, start redousing your assemblage point and see how each line as it was, where is it now? If you can ask again, where is my assemblage point? Go through the same chart when you feel able, if that's okay. Do you have any questions before we go to number 2, Blossom? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Anyone who had number 2, so got Shannon, Dawn, I think, yeah, you ready? Okay, thank you. Here we go. This one is passion. Here we go. So passion is about acceptance, enthusiasm, and freedom. Okay, so ready? Here we go. Misting it now. With love, sending it to you. Saying your name out loud. Please come home. Bringing it to the center of your chest. Putting both your hands over the center when you're ready. That's lovely. Notice what you notice. Feel what you feel. just holding space right now. If you're ready to complete the process by putting your hands in your upper chest to sort of bring yourself home, centered back on the axis of your beautiful natural alignment. And thank you everyone else on the call for holding space while this is done. How are you doing, Shannon? How do you feel?
I feel good. I had a lot of tingling in my left hand as it was receiving and then to the heart. Really, when I brought my hand to the heart, that's when things seemed to activate.
Thank you very much, Shannon. And Dawn, how are you doing?
Good. I saw colour.
Mm.
Lots of colours. So that was lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. And Shannon and Dawn, if you're able to re-douse for your assemblage point, see where it's now aligned, and we aim for it to be at 0, the top, but true north for all of them. Okay, next we are going to number 3. So Peatman, have I said your name right? I hope I have.
Nice. Yes.
Thank you. And Emily and Pam, we are at number 3. And I'm just checking, is anyone else at number 3? Yes, Susan. Susan, hi there, Susan. So are you ready? Oh, and Emma as well. Thank you, Emma. So number 3, here we go. Oh, I love this one too. This one is abundance. This one is, funnily enough, it comes out as one of the most popular ones of all my sets. Look how low down it is. It comes out a lot, this one. This is courage, acceptance, and manifestation. Are you ready, people with 3? Ready to receive, holding your name in your left, your energy in your right, and then name out loud, Alex Russell-Stoneham, or your own name. Please come home when you're ready. Okay, here we go. Abundance coming your way with love. Sending it your way. And just say your name out loud. And please come home. Allow it to settle. Feel those feels. The harmonizing. Coming back home to our true north. Allowing time for it to percolate. Just being with this sensation of coming back home to yourself. Beautiful deep breath, centering breath. Okay. Has anyone got any feedback, anything to share that they've noticed?
As you sent the spray my way, I literally felt it like spray energetically, not, I felt energy literally just sinking into my hands. That was incredible.
Thank you, Emma.
Thank you.
the first time I was on the receiving end of this with Evelyn, I could smell the smells, and other people felt the mist in their field, even though we're on Zoom just like this.
Yeah, I literally felt it, the palms of my hand, as if it was coming down, as if you were actually spraying my hand.
And it's funny because in a way, that's evidence, if you like, or proof that the work we do in house healing, even if we're doing it remotely, there's no separation of time space. Everything's here and now. Any other information people would wish to share at this point? And it's perfectly fine to remain still and quiet.
I actually felt the shift. Yeah, it's almost as though I was being pulled into the center, which is really, yeah. They're not messing around with me. Take her back.
No off kilter for back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, lovely. Thank you, Emily. Love that. If you are open to it, please redouse for where your assemblage point now is. And maybe for people who've been doing that in the background, maybe they can just confirm as intended that you are now fully aligned. Thank you very much. Okay, for anyone who's number 4, I'm just checking through in the chat. We have Louise and Melanie. You ready? Okay, lovely. Oh, this is a beautiful one. Gratitude, that beautiful green, loving color of the heart. This is self-worth, receiving, and transformation. So if you're ready to receive, name in your left hand, energy in your right. Say your name out loud as I mist and send it your way. Okay, misting now, sending it your way with love. Here we go. Saying name out loud, please come home. Bringing your heart space and hands together. Feel what you feel. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
Alex, that was wonderful. Thank you. I feel lighter. And the strange thing was, you said about transformation. I was just talking to Claire, our mutual friend, about the dragonfly transformation literally before we spoke. Isn't that weird? In a lovely way.
I love the synchronicities. Thank you for sharing. If Louise and Melanie, you'd be so kind to re-douse your alignment now for your assemblage point. Just check your alignment is pinged back. And thank you, Pam, for sharing. You are fully aligned, because it's amazing. It's such a subtle shift, yet it feels quite profound at the same time. Right, number 5, I believe. Is that Chris? Chris, hi. You ready, Chris? Here we go. Beautiful forgiveness, heart sound essence. The words are non-judgment, humility, and expansion. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Right. Your name and your left, your energy in the right. I'm sending you heart tone forgiveness with love. Noticing what you notice. How are you doing, Chris?
I can feel my heart really rising up. Quite amazing. And
Lovely
I
stuff.
kind of felt a mist. Thank you.
Yes, sort of see how it lands, and when you're
Yeah.
ready to redouse, I'd be
Yeah.
grateful for the feedback. Thank you. And Joe. Yay! That's lovely. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you, Emily, for the feedback. It's lovely. We're all fully aligned. It just harmonizes in a way that's sort of quite profound. It's like that deeper down. Now, I've got number 7 for you, Joe, which is Believe. This really lovely color. And they're all the colors of the rainbows, these lovely sound essences. That's the words are surrender, trust, and guidance. Okay, we ready? Energy, well, name and left, energy and right. Here we go. Just misting now. Sending you with love, the Believe heart tone sound essence. There we go. On its way to you. Please come home. It's really lovely, that space after a heart tone misting for this particular assemblage point. Just the silence that engulfs us and the beauty in that silence. It's like we're reconnecting with who we really are. Really lovely. How are you doing, Joe?
I think it's going to take some time landing. That felt really like a cave and earthing. Like, yeah, yeah. Thank you.
You, Joe. Yes, and it can feel like, I really didn't want to rush you because I could see you were in that deep place, and it is like an unfurling, isn't it? Somehow of an opening, but also reharmonizing. So when you feel ready, please do recheck and see where you are. That would be wonderful. Thank you very much. Okay. So next up, let's go back to
Alex, just before you move on, I'm curious, for those that are watching the Zoom after the fact who couldn't be with us today, if they went through the process watching it, would they still receive the alignment?
Oh gosh, what a lovely question, and so thoughtful and considerate. Yes, they would. Yes, they would. And
Beautiful. Could we
makes
do number 6? Just
that makes
six.
that's logical.
That's
Okay,
my question as well, Dawn.
oh, that's so perfect. I really appreciate it. So next up, for anyone who doused 6, I am offering you peace, and that is rejuvenation, compassion, and awakening. And anyone who wishes to receive these vibrational, beneficial remedies anyway, just being here receiving, it's completely open to that as well. So here we go. Peace, sending with love to you. Notice what you notice. Feel what you feel. Okay. So if anyone who's playing this after the call, maybe if they need some more time, good point to pause to allow that unfurling and realignment to happen, and just check in after. Thank you so much, Dawn. That's a brilliant question. Thank you. Okay, are we ready to move on more into sound essence? Because we've had the experience together. So thank you for connecting in this way. I really appreciate it. So here we have the sound essences, and I just want to share with you just the notion of our homes having, as well as us having an etheric field, there's the etheric field in a home. There's energy on different levels. And also, I would just like to invite you to contemplate the idea of the home having an assemblage point. So, we each have our own experience of the world, our own map of our own territory, of what we see, and how we take in the world. So it's completely up to you whether you take on board the concept of, does a house have an assemblage point? It may resonate with you, it may not. Completely your choice and preference. If you do align with that possibility, I would invite you to douse for, after this call perhaps, for where in your own home may your assemblage point of your home be. And I just invite you to feel it. Just it's a 3-dimensional thing. So it's not just a X marks a spot. I just have noticed time and time again, it's at my heart level in midair. So if you've got your dowsing rods, or if you've just got your feelers going with your hands in the space, feel where it is. Maybe just have the idea it might be a kidney bean shape. That's how it appears to me. It may be different in your way of reading it. And also, when I'm working remotely on clients, I will do, based on the floor plan they've sent me, I will do a virtual walkthrough with my dowsing rods, walking in a 3D space. And I'll just say, please show me where the assemblage point is. Does it need harmonizing? Heart tones, here we come. Heart tones are the sound essence we use for rebalancing, reharmonizing assemblage points. So imagine if an assemblage point is off kilter, you've just literally experienced how to mist, how to receive a mist. So you can mist a home assemblage point and send it, you just shake it and send it to the house remotely. And it can be a really lovely starting point for the house healing, because like with a human being needing healing, if you start with the assemblage point, you've got your true north, you're anchored, you're aligned. That can heal a lot without having to go through, you know, an extensive amount of lists. Why not just start with that? Just an invitation, really. And yeah, and thank you, Melanie, for your feedback about your new studio and yeah, finding where the assemblage point is for your conception of this building. So looking next, as well as looking at the etheric field of a house and looking at the assemblage point, other aspects I'd love to share with you that might be beneficial for harmonizing and balancing are planetary energies. Now, this is a little bit different to the direct cosmic energies as we have in astrological birth charts in Western astrology. If I just share with you that each cell is influenced by 14 planetary energies initially linked to solar system planets. And there was a chappie called Robert Wade Mahoney who did a lot of research into this in the world of dowsing quite a few years ago. And there was a discovery about an orbital energy in between two planets, and which was named Titus. So when I take you to the list of energies, planetary energies I use on my dowsing list, you will see Titus here, which is not a planet, but it's the orbital energy between two planets. And also you can see Pluto here as 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's to do with different elements of the human psyche. If you work with animals as well, there is, not on this list I'm sharing with you today, but there's also the moon energy, which can be detected in animals. They don't necessarily have these, but I have been working with balancing and saturating a house with a particular energy that may be missing from this list. And again, I'd invite you to douse on your own home first. It's always just good to test and learn what of these energies may need optimizing or replenishing or balancing, saturating to raise it up. And thank you, Louise. Yeah, lovely to see you. So this is a wonderful list to work in the etheric grid and field of humans, but also homes. So might there be a missing an energy from a planet? And I've noticed in myself, if I've needed topping up in a planetary energy, it's quite wonderful after you've done the top up. And so imagine how it feels in a home as well. Any questions on that before we go on to the next bit? It's another area. Anyone familiar with Alice Bailey and the 7 rivers of energy? Beautiful, aren't they? They're just so wonderful. I've been applying them to houses and homes as well as humans. So it can feel, again, in the etheric field of a house, that maybe one of these rays of energy might need topping up in a house. And so I'm just sharing with you the 7 rays here, and the idea of, because each ray has its own quality, its own note, if you like, and it can just be really lovely to attune a house that needs a little bit more topping up of a particular ray, as it can be for a human in their etheric field. You can ask, which rays are constituting this house's energy? Is it 1, 2, 3 rays? It's a bit like getting to know the character of a home. And again, these can be, maximized, saturated, just to really top up those energies if they're a bit low. Somebody might say about their home, oh, it's missing a certain quality, and they might describe the quality, and you might find it's that they want something more and it might come up that this particular ray, because they want a more sanctuary feel, they want to feel safe in their home. Recently had a client who didn't feel safe in their own home and had all the curtains closed and couldn't move from a particular spot in the house and couldn't use other rooms. It was just this one spot. They sat and ate and worked and relaxed in this one spot on the sofa. It was really unlike them. So, you know, sometimes you may just want to use the rays of energy etherically. You can support that with sound essences as well. And then we've got colour. So colour angstroms. I use these for human healing as well as for houses. And, you know, we're familiar with colours because of chakras, because of the rainbows. And there's also on the colour range, there's also ultraviolet, which we don't necessarily perceive with the human seeing eyes, but you can discern it. And again, you just may need a number angstrom topping up. So I have a little worksheet that I use where I go through on a list, on a line by line basis, which color angstrom, if any, does this human or home need to feel at its best. And it's amazing. Again, it can be amazing when we work with color and light. What might be missing from a home, what might need supporting, and how does it feel in the home afterwards? And again, try it out at home and see how this works. You usually have the increments going up in 100s. So if you have 6,300 here for reg, the next one will be that you test for an angstrom scale is 6,400, 6,500, etc., all the way through. So there's quite a lot of reds there. So do explore that if you feel the call and inclined. So just to sort of summarize, we've covered the assemblage point, which I feel like is so key to house and harmony and personal reharmonizing. We've had a little look at the range of sound essences, how we use heart tones in particular for assemblage point harmonization. And I've misted it in a house when I've been on site, and I've misted each individual resident in the house as well as the assemblage point. I've misted them for their assemblage points, and it feels quite sacred actually to do the humans in the house with the house assemblage point at the same time. We're looking at the etheric level and harmonizing in a home, and looking at topping up planetary energies, the 7 rays and the color angstroms. So that's just a summary of stuff I thought would be lovely to share with you wonderful people working in this wonderful field. Does anyone have any questions? Okay. Yes, Joe. Hi, Joe.
Hello. Yeah, I'm into the planetary influences because they seem to be just cropping up at the moment. And I was wondering whether you'd had any experience of them being cyclical.
Oh, interesting question. Not so far.
Okay.
I'm looking, when I'm looking at myself or a client or a home, it's kind of a moment in time, and I don't use them all the time as a sort of checklist item, but it just felt intuitively right to bring up with you today.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
because I felt like it would be appropriate.
Yeah.
If
No,
that kind of answers as best as I can for that question.
I think so. Yeah, and I had someone last month who Venus kept cropping up, and I was like, "Ooh, okay, I don't know what's going on here." And then I had certain dates given me that were sort of like 3 series of days, like on about a 5-week cycle.
Okay.
And then I went and said, "Look, this is what I'm getting. I don't understand what it means, but I've asked for it to be balanced." And she came back, she goes, "Oh, I'll just get my diary." And I thought, oh no, what's going to happen? But she actually looked it up, and each time she'd had a financial incident that was she just had trouble with money on that sort of, which as a connection I found quite fascinating. And yeah, I guess it's rare for someone to have that and make that connection for me. So
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
but
And yeah, we do learn from our clients in magical ways, don't we? It's a sort of reciprocal dialogue, and they can bring problems to our desk that, we haven't come across before, and it helps us expand and grow. And, it's just such a lovely co-creating relationship. So yeah, because Venusian energies, I wouldn't have necessarily have associated directly. I think beauty and,
yeah, exactly.
creativity things.
Just thought I'd
Yeah,
share it because it was felt bizarre, but I guess it also felt confirming to her.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And we can't predict, can we, what comes up necessarily.
definitely.
But it's good to have these things in our wings, so to speak, these different tools that we can deploy. Melanie, thank you, Joe.
Hello. I was actually going to ask Joe a question. Are you saying about Venus and money? I'm an astrologer. Venus is all about what you value, and it's very, very strongly linked to money and financial security and the things you care about, not necessarily money, but the things that you do care about, things that might be your home or your family, but it's your values. And it's not always financial, but quite often. I mean, Taurus is ruled by Venus. I'm a Taurian, and it's that we're very, very kind of aware of security and money and things. So it's very linked to Venus. So I think you're actually dead on there. And
That's
can I also
fascinating.
ask? Sorry, Joe.
No, that's fascinating. And this person was a Taurian.
Really? Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the second side of the zodiac, and it's all about values and it's beautiful things, and most beautiful things are quite expensive as well. It's linked in a weird way, but it's not necessarily money. It's more what you value, what you care about. I mean, I'd rather have a bunch of things I found on the seashore than money, but the bank manager doesn't agree with me, sadly. But the other thing which you were saying about you said about cycles. Are you aware that the planets go in cycles? I mean, it's all mathematical. It's all very, very scientific. It's like when someone says they have their midlife crisis. That's Uranus's half return. It takes 84 years to go through the whole cycle. So at 42, it's in opposition. So that's when it's at its most difficult. Most people don't get to their 84. If they do, they don't care by that time. But 42 in the midlife crisis is all about cycles, and all the planets are cyclical. That's why we say many happy returns when it's somebody's birthday, because the sun comes round to the same point when they were born. So there's the cycles in the planets all the time, and they have transits and all sorts of things. So it's very, very complicated. But is that what you were referring to? I was just curious.
Yes, it was. I thought it might be something to do with that, but to be honest, I haven't had a chance to just sit down and do the numbers as to like when the dates fall and how, but it did feel like a sort of 40 something day cycle.
Yeah.
So
If you look at Pam Gregory, is it Pam Gregory? She's amazing with astrology. She's worth
hmm,
watching. But I've been doing this since I was a kid, and it's amazing how many the cycles come up. And people say, oh, your Saturn return when you're kind of 29, 30, your life falls apart. But it's a good thing. I mean, they're all really positive things. So it'd be even a vague idea of that might help. And the diary will tell you about the moon as well, and a lot of things that you're looking for the planets. You get that's easy enough to find. But good luck and well done. Well done.
Mhm. Lovely. Any other questions before we close? Thank you. Really appreciate meeting you and yeah, getting to know you a little bit. If you have any other questions relating to the items I've shared today, or in terms of sound essences, I'd be delighted to hear from you. I just love using them because they're like friends, they can just accompany you on a site visit, or and they just elevate, and they can help you grow your business. I mean, it's just limitless how you can apply the use of them. I just find them magical. So thank you very much.
Oh,
Alex,
thank you. That was amazing. I learned so much, so thank you for coming and joining us and sharing. Sorry, I interrupted you, Melanie.
no, I was just going to say the same, Dawn. I apologise. And
Yeah.
we'll make sure that we put your contact details on the email that we send the link to the recording. We'll put your contact details on so that you can reach out. You can explore Alex's website and get in touch if you are interested in learning more about Alex and her wonderful work.
Thank you, Dawn. And I think, Joe, you messaged about, yes, I do. I'm a UK distributor for Sound Essences, and I can send them internationally as well. But if you're based in Canada, like Dawn, you probably go straight to Evelyn. So yeah, just let me know if you want to find out more. I mean, they're all beautiful, and yeah, I'm going to be doing more videos, like just little ones on my YouTube about a misting for each one and talk about each one. That's what I'm planning for this autumn, actually. So yeah, watch out for that on the YouTube channel. Okay.
thank
Happy
you very much,
harmonizing.
Alex.
Yeah, thank you. Lovely to see you.
Thank you,
Take
Alex.
care.
Thank you everyone for coming today.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.